Hey, welcome back to the Today's podcast. Today, we're diving into a change Google made that literally affects everyone who uses the internet. No matter where you are in the world, the US, India, Brazil, or even Iceland, your Google experience just got unified. That's right. Google will now redirect all country-specific domains, known as CCTLDs, to google.com. What does that mean? Why does it matter? And what should digital marketers do now to still dominate local SEO? Buckle up. We're breaking it all down. Segment 1. What the heck is a CCTLD? Anyway, okay, quick 101. A CCTLD stands for Country Code Top-Level Domain. Sounds geeky, but it's pretty simple. When you went to Google in, say, Australia, you probably saw google.com.au. In France, google.fr. India, google.co.in. It made your search results feel local, like Google knew where you were and gave you results tailored to your country. For years, this was how Google worked, giving users geographically relevant content by default through these country-coded domains. Segment 2. So what changed? But now, enter plot twist. In a quiet update, not with a press release or a big press conference, Google flipped the switch and said, hey, no matter which CCTLD you type in, CA, UK, JP, we're redirecting you straight to google.com. This means that Google is unifying the search experience across the world. It doesn't matter if you type google.co.uk in your browser, you'll still land on google.com. Your search results, though, will still be localized based on your device location, not the domain you typed. Segment 3. Why people are losing it online. Now, not everyone is clapping for Google on this one. This update sparked some serious online debates, Reddit threads, and spicy tweets. Why? Reason 1. People like their local version of Google. For many, CCTLDs gave a sense of regional identity and control. Typing in google.de made German users feel like they were in a different search bubble, one with localized news, language preferences, and culturally specific results. Reason 2. SEOs and digital marketers are really paying attention, because this change might shift how search rankings behave in different countries. Before, marketers would create content optimized for google.ca versus google.in, but now, that distinction gets murkier. Example, a Canadian food blogger who ranked number 1 on google.ca for maple syrup pancakes might now have to compete globally. That's a big shakeup. Segment 4. Why did Google do this? Okay, let's take a step back and ask the big question. Why is Google doing this? According to Google, the goal is to simplify how it delivers search results. They argue that your location is more important than the domain you use. So, if you're in Japan, Google will show you Japanese results, even if you type google.com. Think of it like Netflix. You can log into Netflix from any country, but what you see changes based on where you are, not what URL you typed. Google is adopting the same logic for search. Segment 5. The hidden impact. Spoiler. It's bigger than you think. But let's dig deeper. This isn't just about URLs. Impact on language. If I'm an English speaker in Spain, will I get Spanish results by default? What if I want to browse in English? Google says you can still change language settings manually, but will the average user know how to? Impact on news bubbles. Some critics argue this move could make it Harder to get a country's inside perspective. Like, if you wanted to see how South Korea is covering a certain issue, it used to be easy. Just go to google.co.kr. Now, you'll need to jump through extra hoops. Impact on neutrality. Some voices are even calling this a move toward digital centralization, where a few companies are flattening the web and erasing national digital identities. Kinda wild, right? Segment 6. What you can do about it, if anything. So, what can you do if this change bugs you? Well, it's not all doom and gloom. You can still manually set your region and language preferences in Google settings. Use a VPN if you really want search results from a specific country. Bookmark specific localized Google News or shopping pages. Some of them still preserve regional flavor. And of course, Google says that nothing about how they determine your results is changing, only how they handle domain names. But that brings us to an important question, especially if you're in marketing, SEO, or content strategy. What does this mean for local SEO in 2025? Segment 7. What should digital marketers do to win at local SEO now? Alright, marketers, SEOs, entrepreneurs, this part is for you. Now that CCTLDs no longer define regional Google versions, the rules of the local SEO game are shifting. But don't worry, local SEO isn't dead. It's just evolving. Here's how you can stay ahead of the curve. 1. Double down on location-based content. Google is leaning hard on user location, so you need to do the same. That means including city names, regions, and landmarks in your content. Naturally, writing blog posts, FAQs, and landing pages that answer hyper-local questions. Using schema markup. Yes, that nerdy code stuff. To signal your business's physical location. Example. Instead of a generic best real estate tips, go with first-time homebuyer tips for Denver suburbs in 2025. 2. Optimize your Google business profile. Hardcore. This is not optional anymore. Keep your address, phone number, and hours updated. Add photos, respond to reviews, and post updates regularly. Use all the features, service areas, FAQs, messaging. Google is pulling more local signals from GBP than ever, and it's what fills those local map packs, even when someone types a global Google domain. 3. Nail local backlinks and directories. Build relationships with local newspapers and blogs, chambers of commerce, city or neighborhood-specific directories. These are signals Google loves for ranking businesses locally. Think of them as the new age votes that tell Google, hey, this business is legit here. 4. Consider using multilingual and multi-regional SEO the smart way. Since domains no longer separate regions, your website structure matters more. Use subdirectories like FR for French, D for German. Use the hreflang tag correctly to tell Google which version is for which region, language. Don't rely on CCTLDs alone, that ship has sailed. This is critical for global brands who still want to target specific countries or languages with precision. 5. Track, test, and adapt. Finally, this change means that old data models may need updating. Watch your rankings in Google Search Console by country and language. Google Analytics for regional traffic shifts. Rank tracking tools that show local SERPs, not just global ones. Look for patterns. Did your traffic from Brazil drop? Did your visibility in Spain increase? Adapt your strategy and your content accordingly. This Google update is not the end of local SEO. It's just a reminder that search is now more about where your users are, not what domain they typed. And that means local intent, real-world relevance, and quality content still reign supreme. Marketers who pay attention to that, they'll win. So whether you're a marketer, a small business owner, or just someone who likes nerding out on internet trends, this Google change is one of those subtle shifts that signals something bigger.